Hi guys, my name is Myra Alvarado. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all summer and not getting too much into school, but I hope all your classes are doing fine as well. So for my social justice campaign, I chose to advocate on HIV and the stigma and discrimination it has with it when people in that community have to deal with. A little background of my awareness of HIV is I I wrote a lot of papers on a subject during my undergrad on statistics and how it's a social issue throughout pretty much the whole world, but a lot in our nation, especially. And I mean, policy is involved with it. Different ethnicities are targeted with it as well. And it's just a social issue that needs to be talked more about and bring more awareness on. I also interned in an HIV clinic my junior year and got to, get hand on hand on how what people have to go through, not just with the illness, but with the emotional and the discrimination towards it and dealing with it like in a more public setting. Working at the clinic, I got to see how the rural community dealt with it because my intern was here in Nacogdoches, being a rural area. A lot of people struggled with transportation to the clinic, being able to afford the medicine for HIV, and also just dealing with their family members and friends of having a closed mind of the disease. Like a lot of people wouldn't even want to get treatment because of the flashback it would get when they told people that they have it. So, I mean, it's a really serious issue, I believe. So, I guess I can jump into my little poster that I made or a little flyer that I made. I think I did a pretty good job, but I'll let y'all be the judge of that. So I guess you can start on the top. I chose a guy that's in the dark, in the rain, kind of alone, is because when I picture HIV, I kind of picture the person who has HIV positive in that way. They're in the dark, they're alone, and it's a really like kind of depressing time for them because people who have HIV usually keep it a secret because if they tell people, some people are like, oh, you can't touch me or you can't breathe on me because it's contagious, because it has that stigma attached to it. And it kind of leaves people in the dark. And also, when I guess getting into a relationship, it's kind of hard to talk to your partner about that. And you're just kind of in the dark. And I wish one day that they can come out into the light and be free to and open to talk about what they are going through and spread awareness throughout the community for there won't be so much HIV being spread around because the less people know, unless people are getting tested, the more it's going to be spread. So if HIV did not come with stigma, there would be more information and less HIV spread in the world, and there would be less HIV be spread. So that's on top of my flyer. And I also put the red ribbon because that's HIV awareness ribbon. And I mean, I have one. Just giving awareness of the issue. And then I put stand up for HIV free generation because it's a way to, stop the spreading. And I also put a couple ways that you can prevent HIV from spreading is wearing condoms when you're being sexually active or knowing your status. If you haven't got tested, go get tested. If you don't know you're negative or positive, it's a big advantage that we have in our society because I, for one, get tested every year, even though I'm in a stable relationship. You just never know what the other person may do. And also, if you get tested, and because some people who are positive sometimes don't even have symptoms for 5 years. So you can have it and not even know. And you're over here being sexually active, spreading it around without consciously knowing, obviously, and yet there's more people becoming positive just because one person is afraid to get tested and know the truth. So if you haven't got tested, I highly influence you to get tested because it is important and it will help you to get to an HIV-free generation, because that's all the ultimate goal. And as social workers, we should advocate for peace of mind of having world peace in a way. But another way you can prevent from spreading HIV is having the open conversation about HIV, spreading awareness that no, you do not get it from people breathing on you or licking you. Like, that's not how it works. You get it from either blood transfusions, you get it if a mother passes it down, if you share needles, or if you're having unprotected sex. But you can't pass it down by hugs or kisses. I mean, you probably could give a kiss if the other person has a cut and you have a cut and you kiss, and then you can probably get HIV, but that's less likely. And another way you to prevent it is if you talk to your doctor about medical prevention measures that you can do if your partner is HIV. There's medicine that you can take that kind of minimize you from getting HIV. So my hashtag is end HIV discrimination. I kind of compare it to, I don't know if this is bad, but I kind of compare it to people having cancer. Like, cancer is sometimes could be a deadly illness, and sometimes you can survive. It's like HIV. HIV can lead to AIDS, and you can most likely die, or you can, live a happy and normal life. But when people have cancer, they're like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, this is so terrible. And they're there for them, and I'm open to be supportive. But when people say, oh, I'm HIV positive, like, it'll get away from me. I don't know if I can see you the same. Like, it's already tough enough for them to even go through the transition of getting medical help, living a new diet and living a new lifestyle. On top of that, that pressure of discrimination and being judged for something you probably didn't even ask for or weren't even aware that you were getting at the time. And it really sucks because, I have one of my statistics, 1 out of 8 people do not get treatment because of the stigma and discrimination. Maybe a lot of homosexuals are targeted with HIV, probably positive, and they can't come open to their parent because they'll probably come open that they're homosexual and that they have HIV. And it's really hard. I agree, and I feel like as social workers, we should change or try to smash that stigma and that discrimination where people will get treatment and will feel open to talk about it and get to that HIV-free generation. So I guess I can read a little paragraph that I have. So the end of HIV stigma and discrimination. The HIV positive community has to deal with their sickness as well with the stigma and discrimination it comes with. At times, some people do not get treatment because of this due to the stigma. Being judged and oppressed for a virus that is hard to deal with is socially wrong. Spreading more awareness and preventive measures can ensure an HIV-free generation. And I really do believe that. I feel like if there was more awareness and us advocating for people in the HIV community, it could soon become HIV-free generation. I really truly believe that. Obviously not in 10 years, but maybe, not in a lifetime, but hopefully, right? But one can only hope and work for it. And so another statistic that I have here is 1 out of 7 people don't know they have HIV. That's where I was reminding y'all to do get tested, because you could be 1 out of 7 people, not to scare you or anything, but it's definitely a possibility. And the reason I want to talk about HIV in rural communities is because a lot of people in small communities probably don't get treatment because it is a small town, and probably someone that works at the clinic, you're scared that they're going to go off and tell people that you have HIV, even though it's a confidential clinic where all your information is confidential. But as a small town person, everyone knows Suzanne or Bob, and they all know each other. And I feel like the more awareness we talk about it and less stigma and shame that we bring about HIV is that the more people will go get tested and get treatment for it. So I guess that was my little, and also if you do have any more questions for me, feel free to message me on detail. I do carry a lot of knowledge of HIV, you can hear, because I did write papers about it for like 2 years, and it is a it is a subject that really sparks my interest, and I really would wish that people would feel more accepting of it. Like, I hate the fact that people feel so ashamed that they have this virus that they had no control over, maybe, and it just really sucks. But and also, if you want more information or more statistics, or if you want to find a clinic where they get free testing, like, you can visit the www.hiv.gov, and there'll be plenty of information on there. Thank you for hearing me out, and I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your summer and a good fall semester and good master degree in general. How do you pause the video?